how empty the building is, that there were specific rooms that were not used in the building. And I know being on the board, but also having run programming in the community, having run youth programs in the community, space is one of the primary needs of CBOs. There are many people who provide services or would like to provide services in our community that very regularly will reach out to say, like, I just want to do this wonderful thing and I have nowhere to do it. Fern can attest to you, her organization recently lost their space, and it took her quite some time and a lot of negotiation in order to find a space to replace the one that she was losing. So of course, seeing a space that is either not utilized properly or seemingly not run the way that I would imagine that a community would run, you know, it raises questions, and I started digging into it, and it's actually how I came to know Dr. Gary Altheim, through saying, when I was running one of the youth programs, is, hey, I noticed that the building is empty, you're in the building, I met you at one of the things, I hear you coming to the community board talking about space in the building, maybe we can partner. That never happened, because what I ended up learning was, well, here's the situation that I experienced in the building, and this is why I've been coming to the community board on a very regular basis. So I'm sure that there's a lot of backstory within DHS about how this is all rolled out. However, it does personally concern me that the immediate action that has been taken regarding this, or seemingly the first action, was to evict GDS, which is basically evicting the person and people that have been the most staunch advocates for proper governance in that building, specifically because they were impacted by it. Now, as the chair of Housing and Human Services, it is not my job to pick up the personal flag for anyone or any specific entity. I'm here for the community. But what I can say is, sitting in the SUNY Attain Lab and participating in programming that on more than one occasion, I have had an expectation of what was going to be executed, when suddenly, well, the building, or the Armory Foundation specifically, is renting out the building or has a change of schedule or something else that requires that program to shut down on specific days so that those things can be executed. There was one specific time where, so first of all, SUNY Attain Lab has standard hours that they operate, and I went to go use the computer on this one specific day, and there were black drapes hanging from the ceiling, people with clipboards, all dressed up, and they're like, well, excuse me, where are you going? I'm going to the computer lab. Oh no, we won't be having any of that today. Turns out it was a fashion show. It was an H&M fashion show. They were rude. And I said, okay, and I kind of like switched caps. Well, I'm on the community board for this district, so I'm very curious about what it is that you have going on here. You know, for the community's sake, I would like more background. And then they had like a brief whisper discussion, and then they came back and said, oh, you can go upstairs. I was like, I bet I can. And so I went upstairs, and sure enough, the SUNY Attain Lab was closed. That, to me, does an incredible disservice to this community. Because while I just wanted to go up and go print something out real quick because my printer wasn't working or I didn't have ink, but there are many people who rely on their trainings to be, that they can access the space for sometimes maybe important things that they need to print, or trainings that they may want to do, or classes. Like, for instance, I was taking a Python class recently, and it was cut 3 classes short because of a change in schedule. And in our primary meeting, our assistant chair was Googling and went on the Armory's website while we were in committee, and found on the website where the Armory Foundation states, we have rentals and we can clear the building for you at whatever point.